More cricket now on the SportsMax Zone as you bring you the latest from the CWI Women's Super 50 Cup following the conclusion of round 4 action across 3 venues in St. Kitts and Nevis a short while ago. Trinidad and Tobago have climbed to the top of the standings following a 3rd successive victory, claiming a 5-wicket win over Barbados at the St. Paul Sports Complex. The TNT spinners turned in a classic performance to suffocate the Barbadian lineup as they were bowled out for 76 with 3 wickets apiece from veteran Anisa Mohammed, 3 for 12, and youngster Samara Ramnath, 3 for 13. They had ample support from Karishma Ramarat, the captain, 2 for 15, and Steffi Zugrim, 2 for 20 opener. Janaba Joseph was unbeaten on 27 to see TNT to victory at 77 for 5 in 22 overs. Guyana followed suit with their 3rd win on the trot, crushing the Windward Islands by 7 wickets over at Connery Sports Club to move to 2nd in the standings. Flatfiana Millington, 3 for 27, and 2 wickets apiece from West Indies seamer Cherry and Fraser, 2 for 16, and Ashmini Munisar, 2 for 18, helped dismiss the Windwards for 97 in 38.1 overs. Unbeaten knocks from Rayaliana Grimman, 48 not out, and international all-rounder Shabika Gajnabi, 32, then led the chase for the Guyanese, who were 20 for 3 at one stage before they were taken home at 101 for 3 in 25 overs. Meanwhile, history was made in the feature game over at Warner Park with the Leeward Islands claiming a 1st ever win in the competition, defeating Jamaica, defeating the defending champions, the outgoing champions, Jamaica, by 1 wicket in dramatic fashion. Skipper Rashida Williams, 86, and 18-year-old Abigail Bryce, 72, led Jamaica to a competitive 253 for 9. Some would say what looked like a match-winning 253 for 9 against figures of 5 for 34 from player of the match Kimberly Anthony. There were 2 wickets apiece from Leewards captain Amanda Edwards, 2 for 42, and Shazara Claxton, 2 for 49. The Leewards trio then returned to oversee the win as Edwards led her team's effort with the bat, carving an unbeaten 88 with assistance from Anthony, who scored 37, and Claxton 34, as they got home with 3 deliveries to spare at 257 for 9. So with 1 round of matches to go, TNT in 1st on 27 points and Guyana in 2nd on 26 currently occupy the 2 positions which would contest the final at the end of the round-robin phase. Barbados not far behind. They are 3rd on 24 points, with Jamaica and the Windwards on 16 each, and the Leeward Islands on 12 points. Yeah, Mariah, what a day of cricket.
Look how the table has changed.
Yeah. But I said this just last week, that I felt that without Hayley Matthews and Deandra Dottin for Barbados, with Stefani being in and out for Jamaica, and no Chanel Henry, that we would have a more competitive competition, and you would see I didn't feel as if any one team would dominate, and we're seeing that.
Yeah, because I have to say that Barbados started the competition by dominating. Every time we spoke about them would be win after win. So today, when I look at that table, it has to be a shock for me and to see Barbados losing. But one of the things and the themes that we came into this competition would have been consistency. And really, Anna Grimman, one of the players, she has continued to be consistent with the bat. And very disappointed for Rashida today because, again, picking up a high score, giving us what we want, but then the Jamaica team losing and losing by 1 wicket. I have to say, very, very disappointed in that team's performance today because Rashida basically carried the team on her back.
Yeah, I think the Jamaicans just not clinical enough in the field. Put down a couple of opportunities and they got a good score, 253 without Stefani Taylor. You would take that and you would think that would be enough to get them the win, but they just were not clinical. One of the things about this tournament as well, Mariah, that makes it even more intriguing is the opportunity to pick up bonus points. So although the Jamaicans lost today, they still picked up 6 points from the game.
Yes.
Which is impressive. So had they won it, they would have been, I think, at about 20 points now and would be closer to the top 3 and still in with a realistic chance.
Even after losing.
Of making, well, if they had won, they would still be in with a realistic chance of of defending their title because they have the Leewards to come in the final match. And again, it would be an opportunity to pick up bonus points and win. But yeah, I mean, you have to give credit to Trinidad and Tobago, though, because they lost their first match to Jamaica. And somehow they have turned that around with 3 consecutive wins. And you're right, led by their bowling.
Because, Ricardo, and when you were making the point about Jamaica, like, I couldn't wait to jump in, right? Because I'm thinking it's a total opposite for Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
You made the point last week about Trinidad and Tobago's batting and how shocked you were, you know, when you saw Anisa Mohammed batting high up. I did investigate into that. Apparently, she's been batting really good in the nets and she's been doing so good in training. So that's why she got that.
I still maintain my point that if Anisa Mohammed is batting at 4 and 5 in your team, then your batting has a problem.
Yeah, but back to the point I was making, that, you know, Trinidad and Tobago, their bowlers, Ricardo, has really, really stepped up. And it's not only the regular players like Anisa and Karishma who you'd expect to lead from the front. It's the youngsters that have continued to step up. And I think that's the win for me when it comes to the bowling throughout the competition so far.
Yeah, very much the case. And I get the impression, based on what I have seen, that the surfaces at Connery and St. Paul's are playing slightly different from the surface at Warner Park in St. Kitts. Warner Park in St. Kitts seems to be a better surface for the batters, while the spinners seem to be getting quite a lot of love at Connery and St. Paul's. So I think you're seeing differences in how the matches are playing out depending on where they are being played. The Jamaica Leeward Islands match was a real high-scoring one, both teams scoring over 250, which is not a regular occurrence in regional women's 50-over cricket. So that was good to see. Although I felt on both ends that the quality of bowling wasn't great from both Jamaica and the Leeward Islands, and the fielding wasn't great either. I mean, the Leewards were, I could almost go as far as to say, terribly in the field with the number of missed fields that they had. The Jamaicans ran well between the wickets and put additional pressure on, but the Leewards weren't good enough in the field, and then Jamaica just followed suit with how they performed. There was a particular case where a ball was driven to Medan, past the fielder at Medan, and I think the wicketkeeper was saying, "What? You can't bend? Why bend? Like, get the ball."
Like live? This was on?
Yes, it was live on television. I was hearing it all. But yes, both teams will be disappointed. But in terms of Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, I think have set themselves apart in this competition. And let's see which 2 will get to the championship match. And I think from this stage, it's very difficult to pick a winner because all the teams have their strengths, but they also have weaknesses.
Yeah, well, I think that's what makes the competition even more exciting because there is no runaway winner. You made that point when we did the preview about the teams being very, very balanced. And I think it makes the competition something to look forward to. So can't wait to see who are the 2 teams. They go straight into the final, right?
Yeah, the top 2 teams will play the final. Right,
so we'll see who makes that final. On that note, we're going to take another break, and then when we come back, interactive time.